Niggas don't know how to swim. Niggas don't know how to love. Niggas don't know how to swim cause niggas don't know how to love. Love is the ocean. Deep. Deeper. Us niggas would drown. Folks, God is so afraid to even test love for fear of what love does. Niggas once heard that if you even dip your toe in love, it'll pull you under, force its way up your nose and flood your esophagus. Got your epiglottis swaying back and forth in distress like the bell at the top of the church tower, telling everybody in town that it's new. Niggas so scared of love that we don't go outside when it rains no more. And if we must, we do everything to shield us from the drops. There's love in those drops. Double up your socks and pull the rain boots, jacket, hat, and gloves out of stock. My, you look like a giant condom. Niggas know the water cycle without even knowing that they know the water cycle. Niggas deduce that these droplets are wet. We don't want to get wet. Love is wet. Love is the ocean. The ocean is wet. Niggas deduce that these wet droplets must have somehow come from the wet ocean and are falling to return again and repeat the cycle and repeat the cycle and repeat the cycle. Love is a cycle. This nigga only know how to swim underwater. Don't help much once I run out of air. Now, what's the metaphor there? This nigga only knows how to be in love with his whole being, whole heart, whole body, whole soul. I know I can't float. I know I can't come up for air. So essentially, throwing myself into love is tantamount to suicide. Be careful. Be gentle. I will give myself to you and allow you to crawl up my nose and flood my esophagus. My epiglottis will ring in distress every time your tongue pierces my floodgates. This distress signal is a warning to the town, my body, this time ringing not to relay the passage of time, but in order to survive, ringing in struggle, because it knows the town is flooding with love, and it knows this nigga don't know how to swim. Follow me, let's get this started. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Play Out NYC. This is Black and Beyond, y'all, and we gonna get this started, okay? Sorry for the, slight little hiccup in the beginning, but we get this going how we get it going, okay? So, I'm your host for this evening's, conversation and performance. My name is DJ, okay? My pronouns are he, him, or honestly anything respectful. And I am Black, Costa Rican, and American, okay? Now, I want to get into thank yous, first and foremost. Thank you, Play Out, for lending me their platform again to curate a space for our community, my community, the community, you know what I'm saying? Thank you to the performers and the speakers that are coming up. You know who you are. Thank you for anybody that's in here right now. Thank you for anybody that is watching this later. And, just thank you to Spirit, okay? Next order of business. I want to get into a little of why this, okay? What is this night that I'm curating? What is Black and Beyond? First of all, I have to acknowledge the nod to Batman Beyond, right? It's a show that I loved growing up, and even though I don't really like Batman, the character, the concept of the show of Batman Beyond always fascinated me because for me, it meant beyond that original legacy, right? Something that extended toward something that was greater, you know? It pushed forward. And I feel like that really relates to what I'm going through right now and what we are going through, you know, like as a community. We are the slashes, you know? We are this and that. We are that but this, you know? We are beyond. We are greater. We are as great as and seeking more. Because we ain't monolithic at the end of the day, right? I feel like sometimes we also sacrifice the crossroads of our intersectionality for multiple reasons, whether consciously or subconsciously. We tend to shrink ourselves sometimes. Sometimes we do it for self-care, you know, not wanting to acknowledge the multiple forms of oppression we actually face. You know, like, fuck, I'm black and gay. Oh my God, why God so much, you know? Sometimes it's blissful ignorance. Sometimes it's just plain ignorance in general. And sometimes it's systemic trauma, you know, especially as black folks already being used to not knowing ourselves, where we came from, having our families torn asunder, being divided and isolated, and having community stripped from us, you know, to name a few. Now, I don't typically support hive mentality. You know, I like the individual. I like to believe in the individual. But, you know, in the words of the stunning Issa Rae, I'm rooting for everybody black, okay? And I remembered that that's always been my idea of a perfect world, if that makes sense, because they are not going to give us our 40 acres and a mule again right now. You know, they are not going to give us our reparations. They are not going to give us the black card, you know, so fuck them, honestly, at the end of the day. We have to unite and take care of each other. We are the sorority, the fraternity, the VIP member, the exclusive card holding, whatever the fuck, okay? It's us. There's this one restaurant, and I can't remember if it's in Brooklyn or New Orleans, and I know that's a huge jump in geography, but bear with me. But the way that they operate, they have this thing where black folks have a different and cheaper pricing menu entirely apart from everybody else. And yes, that is the type of energy I am on. That is the type of progression I'm looking for in our community with each other, no matter what intersection of black and we are coming from. I remember being in high school and the amount of times that like one of my best friends would come over to my hood, I'm from Brownsville, and we would almost get jumped, right? But then I was recognized by like the leader and it would be all good. And I always wanted to project that on a larger scale when it came to the streets, especially because let's just recognize and see one another, you know? I could never understand why we were so quick to harm each other. I believed in the idea of kinfolk before I even knew what that was. Protect our black femmes. Leave room for emotional and explorative space within our black masculines, and let's strip the imprisoning idea of what a man is in our heads. Let them show us. Let us show you. Acknowledge and respect black trans lives and trans lives across the board, but we're in February and I'm the host here tonight, so I'm gonna just focus and zero in on the conversation at hand. And I know I'm on my little horse and soapbox, but allow me to get a little ratchet for the people in the back, okay? Black cis hetero men, stop thinking all members of the community want y'all. Y'all don't look or smell that good, so enough, okay? The sooner you stop walking around thinking we all want you, the sooner that chip will dip off your shoulder. Black cis hetero women, some of y'all men are screaming to explore. It's a spectrum, sisters. Let them be who they truly are. Quit judging them. Have grace, okay? A black man will still be a black man if he's queer. He just not might be your man, and you just have to eat that. But it's gonna be okay, all right? All my black queer folks, let's show each other a little more grace It's hard enough as it is with all the shade and hate from outside our communities. Let's tone it down on the infighting. I love us for real. Let's move the fuck on. So the way that tonight is going to work, I'm going to bring some people up. They are going to do their performance first. Then I'm going to ask them like 2 questions. We're going to conversate real quick, and then we're going to move on to the next person, all right? So one of those questions that I might ask my performers and speakers in here, or something that I might ask of you, is to give a confession of sin, right? Because I'm in the realm of healing, XYZ, da-da-da. So just start to think about that on your own as you are in here. Now, by confession of sin, I grew up in the Episcopalian church, so maybe that's where this comes from. But I want to know, have you ever slighted or been slighted by us, our community? Did you move on? If not, in your perfect world, how would we be able to support you? What do you need? And because, you know, I'm here and I'm guiding us through this, I will start. I remember my confession of sin is, I remember way back, again, going to high school days, you know, it was a little rough or whatever, but I remember one of my first experiences going to the pier, going to Chelsea Piers, right? And if you know, you know, you already know what is given over there by Chelsea Piers. Again, this was one of my first times. I did not identify as gay or queer or whatever back then. I was hanging out with like a couple of friends, you know, guys and girls mix, like whatever. And there was just like a lot of like ruckus going on, like a lot of commotion. All of a sudden, people started running. Long story short, it turns out that, and you know, terminology back then was like very different, right? And I do not remember these folks being any type of trans. I think that they were just drag queens, right? And it turns out, like, eventually what we heard, like, later on, was that there was just, like, a group of drag queens that were, like, going around, like, jumping people in, whatever. Doesn't matter. But I continued to go back to Chelsea Piers, like, maybe, like, once or twice after that. And every time, it was just, like, giving that, like, a jumping sporadically happened, and then people had to run and blah, blah, blah. And then eventually it happened to, like, my group of friends that, like, I was, like, specifically with. And none of us had, like, gotten jumped, but a situation, like, tried to occur. Like, they tried to, like, incite something. And, like, thankfully, like, we just, like, walked away. Like, nothing, like, really bubbled out of it. But I remember walking away feeling very angry. And I was emotionally intelligent back then as I am right now to not do that thing that happens where it's like, all people do this or all people do that just based off of one incident, right? It's the reason why a lot of us are still going through the mixed and misrepresentation of what we're going through now, right? Because the media portrays us in a certain way. So all of a sudden it becomes, oh, all black folks do this, all queer folks do that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't immediately dive into that, but I do know that I was very angry at that specific group. I knew that I no longer wanted to ever return to Chelsea Piers. I knew that I did not ever want to dive deeper into drag culture or anything like that. I was just very angry. And I was angry for years. And yeah, the way that I kind of got over that, right, was kind of digging inward. I had to finally sit down with myself and really figure out, okay, what about that situation made you so irate? Why can you still not let it go after all this time? What can you do for yourself in order to heal forward? What can your community help you out with? And sometimes those things take time. it became a group agreement that like none of us were ever going back to the pier, right? It became this thing of disdain, which I also didn't like because I'm the type of person where this is my city. I'm going to explore all facets of it, right? I'm going to go wherever I want to. I don't like this idea that like, oh, certain gangs run this part of it and any of that stuff, right? No, I'm gonna go where the fuck I want to go because I live here and that's my God-given right. But I felt repulsed by this area in particular because of the anger that I felt and because of what happened. And eventually what it really took was me diving in, having a lot of conversations, and then immersing myself even further, which might not work for a lot of people, but it definitely worked for me. I needed to cure or erase that incident that happened by completely just like diving in. I remember one summer going a lot with a group of people that are also in here, but from a theater program that I used to be in adjacent to high school called MCC, and it took being surrounded by their love in that space that used to be negative for me, in order for my feelings to subside and for me to realize, okay, that thing that happened a couple of years ago, like, it's not a frequent thing that's going to happen to me every time I am here, right? So, time, the community around me, and inward reflection is what it took. But I was very angry and I was very irate. And that is my confession of sin. And I already told you the second question that I'm going to be asking some of y'all is how do we heal and move forward, right? So again, just to reiterate, I think no matter what the experience was, is, or anything like that, I think it starts with us as the individual. You won't truly know how to love your kinfolk until you truly love yourself. Whatever things we have in the dark, whatever scars, trauma, etc., whatever we're concealing, we have to really do the work of self-healing and self-love, and that will inevitably begin to reflect outward. Secretly, I think we all fear the darker parts of ourselves, or what we think. Just because we feel like society might not accept them. But once you conquer that, we win. And I know that I'm making it sound a lot easier than it is. But again, it just all begins with doing that work. So that is my opening motherfucking spiel that gave people time to get into the room. Welcome everybody to Black and Beyond, hosted by me, DJ SJ614. Let's start the motherfucking show. So, first to this particular virtual stage, I would like to call upon my good sis, Julissa Contreras. If you could just, I don't know how to, as much of these that I do, I still don't be knowing how to bring people in and shit like that. Yes, sister, you like that opening? It was cute, right? It was cute. I'm doing a little something. Thank y'all, everybody that's here, doing all the hearts and stuff like that. All right, I'm gonna try this. Send request, and then Julissa, we gonna figure it out together. I also gotta charge my phone so that this doesn't die on everybody. Yes! Come on, Spiral the Dragon.
I wasn't ready.
That's right. That's
What's
right.
up, baby?
I'm here for it.
I mean, now that I'm here, I might as well shamelessly plug my little ladies who bronche ash cup from my desk.
Come on. So Ladies Who Bronche is a fantastic podcast that is sister to the New York Dose, founded and co-hosted by the lovely Julissa. I will let her get into the rest of that as you tell us your identity and whatever aspect that means to you, and then you can dive into your performance, okay? But just quick little spiel. It's my sis, as I said, so she was part of that program, MCC, that was adjacent to my high school experience. So we've known each other since we were both about like 14, 15, 16?
16.
Yeah. 16, 15, 16.
16. Yeah.
So it's been a long time with this bitch, right? I love her to
Yes.
death. And yeah, we create together, we play together, we live, we learn, we laugh, all the things. And I'm very honored that you have graced tonight with us and Moi. And yeah, so do your thing, your identity and whatever aspect that means to you, and then you can jump in. And let us know what you're gonna do too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do my favorite poem to do, because it was the first poem that I wrote where I feel like I tapped into the being able to articulate the experience of being a Black American, even before I actually knew that definitively, like textbook wise, Dominicans were also Black. I always knew, right? Like I always say, like, it feels kind of like a co-opting of the LGBTQ community's story of like coming out. I've always known I was Black, but no one ever taught me I was Black. Anyway, so I'm Dominicana. She, hers, or fulanita are my pronouns. And yeah, this is called Dear Lord. Dear Lord, you know who I am, so I trust you know confused is where I stand. I've been looking to the sky since I was about 5 yay high, trying to keep the purity in my eyes so my mind wouldn't be polluted. But people kept shooting bullets in the air, so I decided to stare in every other direction and caught a visual infection. The wide selection of problems in the world today hit me so hard they put me on my knees to pray. And God told me one day I'd see the light, and he never failed me before, so he must be right. Yet there are still things I don't understand, like we look forward and face the day we die. We look right and see a war we don't need to fight. So we look left to face poverty and theft, and then we look back to face the barrel of a gat. You didn't expect that? So now we lying down on a concrete ground. Our mother's cries is the only sound. We lie in a casket open wide, and at a young person's funeral, everyone asks why, and they're told to calm down, but they don't want to. They just scream, it should have been me. It ain't easy like on TV or the Times. You can't be just anyone and get away with a crime, but you could get shot 9 times and maybe 51, lose a son, get no justice. And when you want to yell, fuck it, forget the rest. I still strive to be the best, be a bird that flies straight out of the nest. But for every little thing, I gotta take some test. Just take me as I am and label me blessed. In life, we often lose and sacrifice. So why can't we just see the light? Jesus, don't you know how hard we try? Thank you.
Yes, let me see some snaps, some fingers in the comments for Julissa. Yes, that is one of my favorites of yours. Thank you for that. Yeah, just label me blessed. Period, right? Periosa, just label me blessed. Periosa, absolutely. Julissa, do you have a confession of sin for us?
Yes, I have a confession of sin. Except I can't even like decide like what is the moment, because there's multiple little moments. So I'll talk about what all the moments share.
Yes, and I'm listening. I gotta grab that charger because this will shut down on us. But yes,
go ahead, producer. Yeah. So for me, speaking of violence, right, and seeing people get jumped, for me, I've always had a really hard time digesting the dynamic of loving Black men and understanding where some of their ego-driven fears that manifest into toxic masculinity come from. Like, as I'm trying to understand that, I really hate witnessing homophobia. And it's actually something that I would die single before I ever allowed myself to be in a relationship with somebody who's so deeply homophobic that they can't move past that. You know what I mean?
Come on, somebody.
There's just something. There's just like the reason I can't name one moment. It's because it's just so deeply ingrained in the culture that it's every moment, every uncomfortable look. But I'll tell you about one thing. There was one time I was working in a school in the South Bronx, Banana Cully High School, and it's considered a bad school. And I had Skittles come to my job, and he had like done a thing with the kids. But after we walked out of the building, like there were a group of guys and they were like saying threatening things, and one of them had a bat. And I remember that at that moment, like, you know, I told Skittles, like, you know, me and Skittles, you know, we know the shits, we feel the vibe. So we start walking a bit fast. And I remember feeling so angry and upset because I knew if shit went down, I wasn't going to be able to protect Skittles. And not that Skittles can't protect himself, but like the idea that like there's so many ways I'm willing to fight, but that there's a moment in which we're both at the hands of a certain community really bogged down. So yeah, I just that's the sin. It's hard because I love our men.
Yeah.
And I understand from which that is born, but I cannot understand from which it is held onto.
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that part,
yeah.
indeed. And how have you, well, I mean, I'll let you answer that for yourself, but have you healed or moved forward from that?
I think I am healing. I wouldn't say it's done. I think that we're in an era where guys are more willing to talk about toxic masculinity and homophobia and whatnot. But, you know, I feel like I've put a pause on the attention specifically just on Black men, and I've really have felt more the energy even towards my women, right? Black and otherwise, towards the trans community. I feel like there is so much untapped and untouched resentment and mistreatment of including our sisters in our community. And we act like it's our choice to decide, and it's not. They're our sisters. And so I feel like I have it's like level 2, right? Like level 2 shit that you got to dig a little deeper to identify, but you got to call that shit out. So
absolutely 1,000% agree with that. What do you think on a larger scale might be the key for other people that are also feeling this way, in terms of maybe like even like initiating, you said like the conversations are happening, right? And we as Black men are a lot more, you know, like open to conversing about these things. For the ones that might not be, what do you have any insight on like how they might begin to approach that path to opening up a little bit, or, you know?
Yeah, I think, and this goes with so many things in life, you got to heal yourself first. Because all of the negative reactions that are coming out of you are coming out of something in your core that is unaddressed or is not being digested and recognized for what it actually is. And if we can just get on board with the idea that in order to succeed in life and to hold power, we do not need to be sexist or racist or anti-prosperity for all. Like, if we can start to just unpack from the place of what do I really contribute with this, then you can start to build, because people will always use their excuses of their little examples as the work, oh, my gay cousin, or oh, I was nice to that trans girl in my school, or oh, like there's always some sort of excuse, but there's never some time to internalize. And it's internalized shit that's going to keep you feeling like you need to find bandages to cover up your bullshit. It's coming from a different place. Look within yourself, and it doesn't even need to start with the community that you're allergic to. It's probably somewhere deeply rooted in your experience, your childhood, or your unconscious socialization. But so start with yourself, right? And if you want to accept the fact that you are a hateful person, then you have to walk around proud, but let yourself be called as hateful as you are. And don't try to act like you're tight if anybody tries to call you out on your shit. No, you're wearing it. Wear it, own it. Hater. You're a hater.
Come on.
That's it.
Hater. Periosa. You know? Hater.
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. Jalisa, thank you so much.
Thank you. This was fun.
Yes, thank you for joining. Jalisa's tags are pinned. Follow her at Jalisa and at Ladies Who Bronche. For anybody that comes up here next, after you are done, write your tags and I will pin you so that people can go and follow. We're going to move it along. Cece, you are on deck. Jalisa, I love you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Yes, we're gonna keep it going. Cece, Monica, Lynn, Cecilia, yes. Where you at, sister, sister? I'm doing this thing. Um, oh, come on, yes, yes. Giving me mo to the e to the yes. Hello, hello. So before we dive into you, I'll give my quick spiel. So I know Cecilia from what is now Buffalo State University, which they tried it. Buffalo State University, that is where we attended college together. And CC has just always been in my corner. We instantly gravitated toward one another. We've collaborated on projects together. We've worked on shows together. We've been in shows together. I've worked for her. She's worked for me. She's been part of the New York Doze. It just extends far and above and beyond. This is another one of my sisters. Love you down. Thank you for joining. If you on your own could just express who you are, your identity, whatever that means to you, and then what you will be doing for us, and then you can dive in.
Okay, hello, my name is Cecilia Monica Lynn, or Cece. She, her. I'm Black, Jamaican descent, but I am Black all the way through. And today, if I want to do a little plug, this is my hoodie line right here. Stay noir. Okay.
The hoodie line is lit. The hood's is satin. I have one. It's fab. Absolutely get it. Make sure you pin that afterwards, Cece. I mean, make sure you type it so I can pin it.
All right. So today I'm going to be doing a piece that I wrote like 2016 or 2015. It was a while back. I was just writing it, and then it turned into like a song, because I'm mostly a songwriter, and then it turned into a rap. So here it is.
I feel like I know what
I can't keep apologizing for offending you, 'cause I'm not sorry, no, that I'm so black and blue. That may seem rough. I may come off as tough. Yeah, I'm angry, but I have a reason to be. Don't know why my qualities are only qualities for those who don't look like me. Instead, we're over-sexualized, dehumanized, go missing, raped, and killed, and no one seems to realize that's why my sisters with the darker hue. I am to tell you that your lives matter too, because we're soldiers at the back front, family at the family. Hold on. This has been a while.
We here with you, girl.
Don't know why my qualities are only qualities for those who don't look like me. Instead, we're over-sexualized, dehumanized, go missing, raped, and killed, and no one seems to realize that's why. My sisters with the darker hue, I'm here to tell you that your lives matter too, because we're soldiers at the front form, backbone of the family. We got a heavy load to carry. When we bring up issues, they just ignore us and tell us why we're so angry. Tired of saying the same thing. As Black women, we're the least protected, most rejected. Don't believe me, even Malcolm said it. But why I gotta use a reference that a man said? Oh my goodness gracious!
Girl, we here. We here. You doing it.
This is so wild.
We here. We on the edge of our seats.
Oh my gosh.
You take your time. Gerard said, take your time, baby. Yes.
Why I gotta use a reference? I knew it. All right, I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna do it from the beginning.
All right.
Okay.
We here.
I haven't performed in so long, so bear with me.
Quarantine.
I can't keep apologizing for offending you, 'cause I'm not sorry, no, that I'm so black and blue. That may seem rough. I may come off as tough. Yeah, but I have a reason to be. Don't know why my qualities are only qualities for those who don't look like me. Instead, we're over sexualized, dehumanized, go missing, raped, and killed, and no one seems to realize that's why my sisters with the darker hue. I'm here to tell you that your lives matter too, because we're soldiers at the front for it, backbone of the family. We got a heavy load to carry. When we bring up issues, they just ignore us, and that's why we're so angry. Tired of seeing the same thing. As Black women, we're the least protected, most rejected. Don't believe me, even Malcolm said it. But why I gotta use a man as a reference to make what I say even relevant? Do they hear me? See, they pissing the wrong one. I'm about to tear this shit down. Start a revolution with every queen around, because they trying to put us deep in the ground. But when I was down there, only diamonds I found. Because we dance, we do, and we dance, we don't. So know that your true value is more than gold. Go ahead, girl. Doing your song, do your thing, and they'll have to see your beauty unfold. Huh?
Yeah.
Go ahead, girl. Sing your song, do your thing, and they'll have to see your beauty unfold. That's it.
Yes. Come on. You better work, girl. Yes. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Your memory. Bless you. Because you
Listen.
see, I got up there with that piece of paper.
And this is something like literally 2016, 2015. I don't even know. And I went over it, but I forgot it at the moment. Okay. It's okay.
It happens. That's right, girl. Everybody was here for the multiple times. They here for the voice.
I appreciate it. Y'all needed to hear it double time, triple time. That was it.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cece, do you have a confession of sin?
Yes.
Talk about it.
I was thinking about it, and then I said, you know what? I realized for the longest time, the only interracial couple that I was okay with when I used to see it was Save the Last Dance, because I liked the movie. But I always have been very, very pro-Black.
Yes, you have.
But like at some point, it did get to a point where like I would be judging other folks for their own preference. But I had to realize, okay, I'm okay with you loving whoever you want to love, as long as it's not one of those things where I have an issue when it's I'm loving this person because I want to strip myself away from my Blackness. That's where my issue lies. And that's what I would see in when I would see that. So that's why I just looked at it as all bad. So I've changed it up to be like, okay, like you can love who you want to love if it's a different, race. But know that like, if you're going to love that person, you also should be teaching them, educating them. But not only that, they should already be coming up with the facts and the knowledge and the respect of you and your culture. Like, it shouldn't be where you see the Proud Boys founder is married to a Black woman. He thinks that what he's doing is okay because he's married to a Black woman. You see that all the time. Like, people be like, doing all this racist stuff and be like, oh, I have a Black girlfriend, I have a Black boyfriend, I have this and that. And it's like, no. And Black people saying, oh, I don't want to mess with a Black woman because I only mess with a white woman because this, that, and the third. Or somebody says, I only mess with white men because this, that, and the third. But it's always something negative about Black people. And that was my issue. So as long as it's because you just naturally had your attraction to that person, whatever, you live your life that way. But if it's about to be something where it's to be negative over a whole group of people when we're not a monolith and there's all different types, and you want to say, oh, you was hurt by a Black girl, so that now you like bash Black women, I'm not here for that. I will never be here for that. Or any Black person, I'm not here for that, because that's ridiculous and stupid.
Go off with the hair flip, a part of it as well. I'm here for it. Yeah, there's this thing where sometimes some people toe the line of like preference and prejudice. You know what I mean? And I know that it happens a lot, especially within like dating apps, like instead of there's this thing, and I don't even like want to bring it to light, but just for the sake of like the reference, like there's this thing in the queer community, right? Where on a lot of these sites, it'll be like, oh, no fats, no femmes, no black, no Asian, no da da da, right? But it's like, instead of spending all that energy of like, no, this, that, third, instead of spending all that negative energy, I personally understand preference. How about you just list what you do want? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to focus on excommunicating a whole, like you just said, a whole community of people based off of maybe nothing or whatever, or maybe it is your natural preference, but you don't have to alienate them because we all see that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel what you're saying, sister. I'm here with you. That's why fuck the no fast, no femmes crowd. Okay. Do you are you healing forward? If so, or if not, do you have any ideas or tips or how anybody else in your predicament might be able to take those same steps?
I mean, I'm healing for it because I have a black king, so I don't even have to worry about that. But I did, when I was into dating again, I did say I will open up my box.
You did.
I did. And you know what? God knows what I needed. So that was that. But I just, for me, I think that the biggest thing is always just like self-healing is really it. Self-evaluation, understanding where that hurt comes from, and figuring out in a way to for one, educate yourself. Because I feel like a lot of times people are misguided in information that's really at our fingertips. So to understand yourself, know who you are, and know the information that's around you. But also, I think that what I liked about what you were saying is that before, about you exploring and branching out and seeing all different like facets of your city and everything else. And I think that that's the same thing. It's like, I grew up in a diverse city, and I had a diverse group of friends, and being exposed to so many different cultures, like that's a great thing too. So it's like, okay, do that, and you can pick and find out what works for you. And if it is somebody of a different race, but you are true to yourself, and it's not in a way that is trying to negate your blackness, being anti-black, then go right ahead and don't feel ashamed about that. But if there is anti-blackness in there, figure out where that is coming from, and heal from that. And hopefully at the end of the day, whoever you fall in love with, or how many people you fall in love with, because I know you have multiple loves, Derek. You know
Talk about it. So you better talk about it. Read me.
I just hope that at the end of the day, like, it's always going to be reciprocal, and it's going to be equal either way, no matter who it is. So just like work on that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, the wonderful Cecilia Monica Lynn. Absolutely. Cece, make sure you post your tags after you hop off. And next up, we have Tashawn. If you are in here, thank you, Cece girl. Yes. All right. We have Tashawn, and on deck after Tashawn, we have Nadra. Let me see if I can find this. Damn it, I'm doing it again. How does this work? Okay. Okay, here we go. Look at me. I feel 23. It's waiting. It's giving very wait. I'm gonna do this like very like X Factor. Like you have like greetings.
Hello, darling.
Yes, greetings. How art thou? So I'm gonna jump into my little spiel. Everyone, this is my cousin Tashawn / godbrother. Of course, I've known him all his life. He is a dancer nowadays, doing things, and I'm just gonna say I'm responsible for it. Yes, I am. I was at that very young age cracking that whip. We was boom catting in the basement. He had to get that routine down. It couldn't look sloppy. None of that. Absolutely. Tashawn also has a podcast called the King Mickey Podcast, and he is in the Atlanta, Georgia area doing his thing. But I will turn it over to you and let you express your identity and all facets of what that means to you, and then tell us what you're going to do, and then jump into it.
Heard. So, of course, like he said, my name is Tashawn White. I identify as he, him. I can honestly say that I am Black, and of course, my cousin and me, we are Costa Rican. Like, we don't play that game. Like, we is Costa Ricans, don't play that. But But also, I am, like he said, I am a dancer, and dancing is my love, my passion, is what I do, everything about it. So that's what I'm going to do for you guys. And it's the dance to it. Well, the song is Rise Up by Andre Day. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And here we go.
Yes, I'm ready to rise up. Absolutely. Yes.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round. You can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out.
Ooh, hold up. We can't be having no
I was gonna say it went silent for me, but I was here for the choir interpretive. I was
you know,
here. I was
live
gonna
through,
follow the story. I was gonna follow the story with
we
just
live
the
through.
movement.
Dancers got to continue to move on and live through.
That's
But hold
right.
up, technical difficulties. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. We here. We here.
Oh, can't be doing that. No, ma'am.
That's right. No, ma'am. That's right. Yes, yes. Our other dance in the chat said you better still be moving with no music. That's right. The
Exactly.
silent interpretation. Come on.
This is what we do. This is how we live life.
That's right. Absolutely. Gerard, you are so silly. I cannot. Yes. Yes. No music. No music.
LOL. Look. Hold on. Life.
I don't want these shoulders. Y'all don't want these shoulders. Shoulder. Hey.
Hopefully this time. Hopefully.
All right, here we go. Take us back.
Living life on the merry-go-round. You can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Ooh, mountains, we gon' walk it out. Ooh, mountains, and I'll rise like the day. I rise up, I rise unafraid. I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I rise up, I like the waves. I rise up, in spite of the ache. I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I
know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Ooh, mountains, bring it to its feet. Ooh, mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope. And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. And we will rise. We will rise. We will rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up. I like the waves rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Brava! Brava! Yes! Come on! Come on! Come on! Yes! You know, Sheila
Thank
was
you.
very proud. It was very clean. I saw the lines, the extensions. You threw them kicks in there to be real cute. Absolutely, I loved it. I loved it.
Thank
You can
you.
go through the comments on your own. Everyone loved it. Amazing, amazing. Thank you for blessing us and giving us that spiritual moment. I want to ask you, you have the choice. Would you like to speak about a confession of sin, or would you like to talk about a time you felt or have slighted our community?
Well, this is a time where I can honestly say that this was a time where I was in school, and this is something that I really don't talk about like that. I've talked about it like from time to time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to catch my breath.
Take a moment. Take a moment. We here. We here.
But this is, like I said, this is something that happened to me while I was in school. Being bullied for my sexuality, and this is something, like I said, that I don't really talk about like that. I've talked about it amongst some of my family members, but I haven't spoken about it with you specifically. But during my time in middle school and my 9th grade year, I was extremely bullied. And I was tormented so much that I told my mother that I wanted to attempt suicide. And with that, it was because of the bullying and being frustrated so much that I really didn't have time to reflect upon myself and be happy with myself. So I was going through school tormented, bullied, tortured, and I never really had an outlet So honestly, like I said, I wanted to attempt suicide just to get over it, just to get rid of the pain, get rid of everything. But then I had to come to the realization that only God can put you through something that can make you stronger. So, with that being stated, I said to myself that, you know what? Although you went through this, and although it it broke you, it made you a better person. It made you stronger, and it made you realize that you are the person that you can become, and the person that you can be. So, it that was my outlet, because then now I have other teens that come to me and ask me, how did you go through this in school? Like, how did you deal with this and how did you overcome it? I said, dance was my outlet for one. God was my second outlet. So I prayed, and I had to come to realize, like, you a bad bitch. At the end of the day, there is nothing else that God can put you through and make you realize, like, hey, this isn't for you. So, like I said, I had to come to realize, like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm forever going to be a bad bitch. And this is who I am. So, for
Absolutely.
anybody that feels slighted, that feels like they aren't the best person at who they are, and that feels like they can't be who they are, guess what? At the end of the day, you a bad bitch. You forever be a bad bitch. And only you can remember that you are the baddest bitch.
That's right. Absolutely. I thank you for sharing that with this community tonight, this safe space that we have cultivated. Yes, I know why you didn't tell me, because you know I'm crazy and you know I would have been in jail. So I understand. I do understand. But you know, I'm always just a text away, you know, if you need me. Don't FaceTime me because I won't pick up. But do text me. Absolutely. Don't call me either because I also won't pick up. But if you text me, you will receive a response, and I'm here for you. As well as you now have a whole new community on this live tonight that is here for you. They love you. They live for you. We love you.
And
And thank you.
it is so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Make sure you pin your tag right now, okay? Just write it in the thing so that I can then pin you, okay?
Yes, I just did that actually.
Amazing. All right. Do it again because I lost it. Sorry. And I'm gonna kick you off of this now, but I love you.
LOL, love you too.
Yes, y'all. Wow, what a night it has been already. We are gonna keep things. Where is it? I'm looking for his tab. We're gonna keep things moving along. Um Up on deck we have Nadra, and then after Nadra we have Henny Elise. Nadra, can you jump on here and just give us who you are, your identity? And I guess I'm going to need to pull you in here again. So Sean, I cannot find wherever you wrote. You gotta write your thing in here. And let me locate Nadra in the meantime, right there. Yes, come on, my love.
Hi.
Yes, yes, the world soon done up, Nadra. Okay, so I'm gonna give my little spiel on how I know you, right? Then we are going to hop off of this because it's going to kick me off, and then we're all gonna come right back, and Nadra's going to do her thing, and we're gonna continue on with the rest of the night. But however, Nadra is another one of my Buffalo State sisters. We were rocking it out. One of the few Black people in the theater department. That's how me, Nadra, and Cece all came to be.